listeners, welcome back to Females Doing Cool Shit, the podcast where we celebrate women doing really, really great things. This is episode 9. I actually can't believe it. It's gone so quick. These just keep popping out left, right and centre. A little update from me. I've actually been in Bali for 10 days. I went on a co-parenting trip with my ex-husband and my 2 children, and it was so healing and beautiful for us as a family. I loved every second of it. We also just held a huge Females Doing Cool Shit event, a big party on the weekend with 100 women in business. And it moved me, it motivated me and inspired me for the future of this podcast and also the future of this space and this community. So I'm super pumped and super excited. I'm also super pumped and excited about having Nina here. Hey, Nina.
Hi, how you doing,
Hey, girl. Nina and I were just discussing how we connected because our community of women has just grown and become so close and supportive. And we connected at a Females Doing Cool Shit event a couple of months ago, right?
Yeah,
right. So, Nina, tell us about yourself. Who are you? What do you do? You're so amazing. Just share all the good shit.
So I'm Nina. I'm the founder of a herbal tea company called Nurtur Tea, and we help women, like thousands of women across the world now, which is incredible, with holistic health choices pretty much to the various health journeys that we face as women by creating herbal teas that are 100% organic and they actually taste good. They're developed by myself, our in-house naturopath and herbalist, to promote healing and balance and empowerment. Because we're going to face a lot of journeys as women, and it can range from period pains all the way up to menopause and beyond. So,
and do your teas help with sleep?
Yeah.
I saw you posted something a little while ago, and I was like, I really need that.
Yeah, sleep's our bestseller by far. It's sold out.
And that's what it's
these
called,
days.
just sleep.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. A lot of men drink that sleep tea as well.
Okay, so you provide for men as well? Not just women? Okay, amazing.
I mean, I market it more towards women. Like my Instagram is more very like women focused, but a lot of women take it home. And instead of the men, instead of having like a beer at night, they start to have a sleep tea before night. And I can't explain how many like DMs and text messages I've received telling me that. And they're now addicted to the sleep tea.
Wow, what a one tiny habit they've changed using your product and they've completely restructured their whole life.
Yeah.
That's so cool to have that impact. That's awesome. That's
and
amazing.
lots of kiddies drink sleep tea as well.
Okay.
So from 6 months onwards, it's fine to drink.
So you can literally put it in a bottle. I wish I had that one. Luca never slept. She woke up, and from newborn to 3, she woke up every 40 minutes.
Are you joking?
Every 40 minutes. I'm still coming back from that traumatic time in my life. But I wish I knew about your product, even though it probably wasn't around back then. But anyway, so that's your business structure.
Yeah.
But who are you outside of your business? Because when I met you, and still now, I just find you a really warm and loving. Are you an empath?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd say so.
I gathered that. And you have empathy for people and you're just beautiful. Tell us about who you are outside of your business.
Well, I'm a boy mum, so I've got 2 beautiful boys, got Miles and Hunter. And every morning I wake up and I see them and I just pinch myself I feel so lucky. I love that. I do. And I love my husband. He's my best friend.
How long have you been married?
Coming up to 2 years, I think.
Oh.
I should know that. No, 3. I'm so shit with days.
What day is it?
I don't know. I don't even know how old I am.
Oh,
so I'm definitely the male in the relationship. I'm just oh God.
He turns up ready for your anniversary, and you're like, what? That's great.
I'm actually feel really, really happy at the moment.
I can tell.
Yeah.
How nice is it when you can see that somebody is just so happy within their life? It's just such a cool accomplishment.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
It's been a journey though. It hasn't always been like this. So I met my husband on Tinder in Sydney. And before then I was heartbroken living in London. So I just caught a one-way flight to Sydney and I was at my rock bottom then. But I've worked really hard to get to this happy place. But also understanding that nothing lasts forever and to just go with the flow. And I think just knowing that in the back of my head keeps me grounded.
I actually deleted Tinder this morning. So I love that you're like, I met my husband on Tinder, and here I am like, fuck Tinder. I'm sick of it. Maybe I need to re-download it. No.
Well, I've never been on Tinder before until I moved to Sydney.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a vicious game. I'm not into it. All my single girlfriends have just recently deleted it. This is totally off topic, but yeah, it's a vicious world now.
Well,
Tinder.
I've never seen a dick pic before until I went on
Tinder, and they just think it's like, here, have a dick pic every single second. I'm like, it's 6 a.m. I'm making my children breakfast. I don't need to see this. Leave me alone.
So I mean, it is pretty vile. It can be, and it's a lot of like admin. I found. But then like one night I went out for a few drinks and I came back and I set my age limit to a lot lower because I just wanted an older man, and then set my limit to like 28. And then I found Ben, my husband.
Oh,
and
I love that for you. And you fell in love and had your babies.
Yeah.
And you moved here.
And then I moved here. Yeah.
Okay. Is it Ben's family? Do they live here?
No.
Like, what brought you to the coast?
We've got no one. Yeah, it's a lot. So we lived in Sydney. We're really happy in Sydney. And then for a lot of people, it's the same. You get to a point where like, I can't afford to live anywhere. It's hard work. And we just made a decision that we were going to go for it and just take a massive gamble. We were the couple that bought on Zoom, and yeah, we're one of them.
Never saw the house, just paid for the house and moved.
Yeah, pretty much.
So you've been here for how long?
We've been here we rented out the house for a year. This is a long story, but we paid for a wedding deposit, and it was during COVID. We had to reorganize our wedding 3 times. So they said, you can get married, you can rearrange the date as many times as you like, but you will not get that deposit back if you decide to not get married here. So we had to stay in Sydney for another year, rent out the house, we got married, and then we moved when I was in my first trimester. With my second.
Wow, not knowing anyone, moving here, you're incredible.
Yeah.
Did
thanks.
you have any sense of fear then of the unknown?
I started meditating when I was pregnant with my first. And since then, I've really learned to listen to my intuition. And I just think, fuck it. What's the worst that can happen? Just go for it.
I love that saying. What is the worst that can happen? Really? What, you have to turn around and move back to Sydney?
Exactly.
Whoa. Like, that's amazing. So outside of being a mum and your husband, what do you love to do? Do you have any passions or interests outside of, obviously, wellness?
Yeah, well, I'm a Pilates and yoga instructor as well. So that's like movement for me is my happy place. I love spending time with a good group of girls as well. And like, I have to say that I'm pretty boring.
That's great. I love boring. Can you give me some boring? Because I need to like level out a little bit.
I used to be pretty wild.
Yeah.
Especially in Sydney and London. Like, yeah, I used to go to a bottomless brunch like every weekend.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. But now I'm in a really happy place. I'm no angel. I'm not perfect, but I feel a lot more balanced. And I've just learned like I am really fun sober.
So you don't drink?
No, I do drink.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah. I was like, I just did 7 months sober, and it was such a great experience. I think more so to proving to yourself that you can do what's classified as a hard thing. And when you go out, you can actually have fun sober.
100%.
Yeah, and you can enjoy your life and be content and happy sober. It's
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So living here as well, like we're not in a city, like it's really hard to get an Uber. So I drive a lot and I don't drink. And yeah, I realised that I don't need to.
Yeah, 100%. I love that.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So tell us a little bit about Nurtur Tea. How did it start? What brought you to this space? Because obviously it's very successful now. It's growing rapidly. Tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, so it started when I was pregnant with my first hunter, and I had an amazing mentor in Pilates who just really guided me into like holistic health, and you can have an empowering birth, because I was shit scared of giving birth. Like I fell pregnant with my first, not like an accident, I hate that word, but it was a surprise, a very nice surprise. And then I was like, shit, I've actually got to give birth now. I'm really scared of giving birth. Oh my God, I just want a cesarean.
Can I ask why you were scared?
Just the pain.
Okay.
Like just, you just see stuff in the media, don't you? And you're just like, and also like, oh my God, I've got to like sacrifice everything. My life is going to end. I had this to do with my career and like, oh my God. And then I just met an amazing mentor and she really guided me. And part of that was like acupuncturist, how we can use breath work, chiro, all that space, and red raspberry leaf tea. So it was getting, like, you're meant to drink it from like 32 weeks. That's controversial, but we'll just say that. And then I remember I was living near Bondi Junction at the time in Sydney, and I was like running around trying to find a red raspberry leaf tea, and it was all sold out everywhere. Then I found one.
I loved it. It was so good when I was like heavily pregnant. I would just sit inside tea after tea after tea. I don't know what's the maximum you can have because I was like, it was the best.
Well, they say 3 cups a day. Max.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I definitely had more. But anyway, my children are fine. So you were running around trying to find it and it was nowhere.
Nowhere. And then I went to the Chemist Warehouse and they had like this random one there and I was like, okay, I'll get it. Job done. And I had a cup and it was like, all right. And then second or third cup, I opened up a tea bag and I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, there's these tiny little balls, no fresh herbs. I started to really question the effectiveness of it and am I actually going to get any benefits? So I started to already then like research and source from a supplier. So I got the benefits. And then after I gave birth, I really worked with a naturopath and a herbalist, did like 2 years of research. And then eventually I persuaded my husband, who's a designer, to work with me to design the tea tubes because they look a certain way. And I wanted a tea that not only just tasted good, but looked beautiful as well. That like women would be proud to have it on like in the kitchen on display. On display. You know? So yeah, red raspberry leaf is what sort of like birthed my tea. But then also I had really low milk supply with Hunter. And I feel like that was because of a range of reasons. One of them was I was living with our in-laws and it was a bit of a difficult, I love them, but it was a bit of a difficult time.
Always difficult. I think for everyone. Does anybody not have a difficult time? Like,
it was a 3-bedroom unit in Sydney and COVID happened and everyone moved back in. I think there was like something ridiculous, like 6 adults in the house, like
in a 3-bedroom.
3 dogs. It was just ridiculous.
Chaos. Absolute chaos.
Absolute chaos. And you know, like it's different. Like if you're breastfeeding in front of your mum or dad, personally with my mum and dad, I'd be like, boobs out, whatever. Yeah. Like, sorry, if you don't like it, get out. Like, this is, we don't ever say that. It's just like completely natural. Whereas it's like my father.
Yeah. I get that. I totally get that. Yeah. So did you spend most of your time in the bedroom?
Yeah.
Like the grandparents on Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
So yeah, I mean, it really affected my ego and it really upset me. And I just thought like, I'm not a good mum. Like I can't even breastfeed my own child. And from then I also developed a breastfeeding tea. And I feel like it really has evolved with me, all the teas. Yeah. So it's
so beautiful. It's like your personal journey has impacted your brand and what you provide for women.
Totally.
That's so cool. I love that.
Yeah.
Have you faced, obviously, launching the tea, pregnant, had a baby, designing this with your husband, all of this stuff? Have you faced moments where at that initial start phase where you've just gone, this is too hard? Because I know for me, I was working full time. I had a newborn baby. I was working full time. I had a toddler, and then I was heavily pregnant, and that's when I started all things pre-loved clothing. And looking back, I'm like, how did I survive? How did I like hold on to the dream? I don't know how I held on with all this other stuff and other noise going on behind me.
Yeah. Well, when I launched the red raspberry leaf tea in Sydney, it was a very soft launch. I mean, I wouldn't even call it a launch.
Yeah. It's like any friends and family.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So that's like no pressure. It's just like a lovely little side hobby, you know. And then when I moved to Sunshine Coast, that's when I kind of launched Nurtur Tea. I pretty much say Nurtur Tea was born the day that Miles was born. So it's coming up to 2 years in December. So
only 2 years. That's wild.
Oh, thank you. And I feel like for the first 6 months, it was a bit of a blur. But I just said to myself, I've got to launch it now or it's never going to get launched because I'll just be in that haze. And I just need to send out those emails and I need to work hard on getting stockists. Yeah, so there has been many moments where I felt like I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Because it is a lot. And I think people just need to be aware of that if they do launch a business. And I can really empathize with a product business. Like, there are so many things to think about. Suppliers, you got to think about sometimes, like, I'll be honest, like sometimes my family have to come second in some situations, and I hate saying that, but it's true. Like, I have to say to my husband, like, you've got to look after the boys tonight. I've got to sort this out.
Yeah.
And that's the way it is.
It is a hard space to be in sometimes. I try to communicate. Obviously, I'm a single mum. So, for example, last night I had my girls and I time blocked hanging out with them in the afternoon, cooking dinner with them. But as soon as it hit like 6:30, I was like, girls, mummy has to do some work. And this is so that we can go away again on another holiday, or this is so that we can do this. But it's the mum guilt can sometimes eat you alive.
Yeah.
Even like without having kids, just that guilt of, am I dedicating like 99% of my life to my business, and who am I outside of my business? I need to hold on to that.
Yeah.
But when you feel so passionately, like that becomes your hobby.
Yeah.
This becomes your hobby, and you just fall in love with it and you're happy doing it.
I'm so happy. That is my third baby.
Yeah.
And I really, when I get like DMs and everything, you know what it's like with your business, like when you get DMs saying like, you have like changed my life and you have just changed my mindset, I feel so much healthier. It is everything. It means so much. It keeps you going.
And on the flip side of that too, I guess with a product-based business, mine's not really a product. Well, we provide a product. We sell your things for you. But when you have rejection, you kind of have to learn to see it as redirection rather than, oh, somebody doesn't like my product, I suck, I'm just not going to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Have you found yourself in places like that before?
Oh, yeah.
Where you face rejection and someone said a hard no to you?
Yeah. Oh, from stockists all the time. Yeah, you have to get very thick skin.
Yes.
I mean, I've sent product to many potential I can never say this word.
Distributors. Yeah. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm still waiting. They still, like, I've been rejected. I just keep trying. And you just have to not take it personally, and you have to keep going. I recently spoke with someone, and she is like the founder of this amazing company. And she was like, you have to kind of like take 8 no's and then give up. And I was like, yes, that's a good...
From the same company? Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are like, oh, no, they said no. Oh, no, I don't want to hassle them next week because I've only just emailed them last week. You have to be quite resilient and keep going.
Keep trying.
Yeah, definitely.
That's great. That's great advice to women out there who have product-based businesses. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
So my girlfriend in Brisbane, she's like a very successful photographer. And last year she actually turned her TikTok into how many rejections can she get? So how many no's she could get to potential yeses for people hiring her services. And I loved watching that story unfold because it normalized rejection and not being a failure. Yeah. And it just redirecting her to try the next possible door, to open the next door, to open the next door until that door closed on her face. So then she'd open the next door. And I loved watching that because it made me feel okay with when people say, 1, I don't like your product. 2, you're not the best fit for us. 3, it's just a hard no. And that all of those things are okay.
Oh, yeah, totally. And also from a different perspective as a product-based business, and I suppose a service as well, that ads. I'm just learning about ads now, and there's many ups and downs and many rejections where people are just like, I don't even want to click on that.
Yeah. So this is like Instagram paid ads?
Meta, paid ads. And I actually launched some in January, and they were okay. I did some for Mother's Day, and they completely tanked. And I had a tantrum, and I was like, I am never fucking doing ads again. I have lost so much money, and I suck. And I'm just going to do it organically and just stick with wholesale. And now I'm getting back into it. And I have just accepted to really learn from others, and it does take time.
Yes. I actually listened to a podcast the other day. I'm obsessed with Brittany Saunders. She is like my go-to human being. I'm trying to get her at an International Women's Day event next year. I'm like, my staff are like tagging her in every TikTok we create because I love her. I love everything that she's about. She has a podcast called Big Business. And she spoke about Facebook ads and how they are literally a waste of money. You're literally putting your money into the universe to get absolutely nothing back from it. So since she said that, I just stopped doing Facebook ads. But I don't put a lot of time into Facebook. Do you with your business, or are you more so Instagram based? Or?
It's more, Instagram, yeah. But the ads go on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you pay, it just doubles. It just goes.
Is she talking about service-based businesses, or is she talking about products?
Well, she's got product.
Yeah, okay.
She owns Take the Label. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, because I'm part of a school where we're learning about ads and we see how much money is still coming in. I'm very early days, but I'm talking like,
Maybe you can run a workship for females doing cool shit so we can all learn from you. I love that.
I'm learning a lot about AI now, so how I can use AI to, because I don't have a team yet. I have a couple of like freelancers. I'm looking to get a team very soon, but I'm trying to use like AI to just help me be more efficient. So I've been asked to run a workshop on that. So yeah.
Oh, well, I'm coming. I used AI a lot when I was obviously only just finished my teaching processes at my school maybe like 3 months ago. I just stopped working there, and we used to use AI all the time in schools to plan different lessons, to write report comments. Obviously, we edited and used and changed, and newsletters, everything. I heavily relied on it. It made my job so much easier.
Oh, that's really interesting. I didn't think teachers would do that, but of course, it saves so much time.
So much time. Even a letter home to parents on like an excursion. It just completely structures the whole thing for you, and it's done. Obviously, you need to edit it to add your personalised touch, but we loved it.
Yeah.
So on your journey, any moments of failure, which I hate the word failure because nothing's ever a failure. It's just a lesson. But any moments where you've just like really, truly hit rock bottom, and are you willing to share anything with us?
I'll share everything. I don't hide anything. There's been many moments.
Many. Would you say more lessons than...
Lessons? Yeah. You learn from everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have to keep going. What's the alternative? You just give up and pack up.
Yeah.
Which is also fine, guys. I want to say that as well. I know a few businesses recently have closed down, and their mums, and they just thought, I can't do this anymore.
Redirection. Yep.
Yeah. There's been many. Let me think. Okay, so I think it was the night before my first expo. It's the PBC in Brisbane, so Pregnancy, Babies and Children. And I just thought it was like a market. I'll just turn up and be like, hey guys,
this is my
product. And yeah, it's not. And there was a lot, that was what I originally thought, by the way, like the months before I signed up. Anyway, so I didn't realize how much work was involved and how much stock I would need, because it's a consumer show, so people are buying there. And at the time, I was making all my own teas. So I was hand making everything. There's 8 tea blends. There is tea accessories. It's a lot. Sometimes I look and I'm like, why did I do so many products?
And how did I even survive on my own doing that? That's wild.
There's 16 SKUs. There's bloody loads. And I was at burnout. It sounds really romantic to make teas all day. And it's beautiful. There's worse things to do, but it's a lot, it's physical. And then I've got to do all the marketing on top. And I was at breaking point. And my husband accidentally got some glass in his middle finger. It was kind of my fault. Well, yeah, there was like, I broke a glass and then I didn't put it in the bin properly. Anyway, and the day before the expo, we had to drive to a private hospital because he needed it out like ASAP because it was getting infected. Like it really hurt and it was just looking weird in Koana, so we had to go there. And I had like the 2 kids in the back and it was just so hectic, and I had to drive to Brisbane the next day. There was still teas to be made. And I just thought, I can't do this anymore. I really can't do this anymore. And I was at breaking point. Yeah, so that was a low point.
So the next day,
I just got up and did it.
And you went, I can't do this, but I'm going to fucking do it anyway.
Yeah, and I looked like shit because I hadn't slept and I had to get up
And
so
did anyone
early.
rock up and be like, can I have 100 of your morning lift, please? And you're like, well, I've got 3. That's about it. That's all I can offer.
No, I did have enough because that's the thing. Like you just.
Was the day a
just have to
success
keep
for
going.
you?
Yes, it was 2 days and it was really successful and I was so grateful.
So
yeah,
it completely
smashed it.
showed you that you are on the right journey.
Yeah. What was really funny though was on the Friday you have to set up the stall, the space, because Saturday and Sunday is when people come. And my husband, he's like giving everyone the middle finger.
Why? Because it's got the glass?
Yeah. It's so funny. It was like bandage here and all like the iodine, all that whatever. It was so funny. I don't know if you can add that picture to show notes.
We need to do that. That's great. That's so good.
So that was a low point. There's also been low points where I'm sure people can empathise if they own a product, but you just run out of stock because you're a bit disorganised.
Yeah.
So now I'm more organised. But
do you stock it all from your house and send from your house?
So at the moment, the warehouse is still in my double garage, but we're probably going to open one in
That's
local.
so exciting.
Yeah.
So can people, like if you do open it, can people come and buy your product from the shop?
Yeah, I'm going to do a shop front for sure. Yeah.
Stop it. That's so exciting.
Especially because I'm launching a new product soon, which
Tell
I
us
think
about the new product. Are you allowed to? Or is it secret?
It's secret.
Okay.
But it comes from Japan. It's pretty obvious.
Okay. Is it obvious? I've been to Japan and that's not... Sake?
I actually really like sake. I had a really nice one. I've always thought it's gross. And then I had a really nice one on my honeymoon. And I was like, this shit is so good.
I find it like, it's like petrol. I mean, I haven't drank petrol before, but when I had it in Japan, I was like, oh, this is a lot.
Yeah, so at the moment, I'm talking to suppliers in Japan and just sorting out the finer details. But yeah,
so
it's going to be great.
For the future of Nurtur Tea, where do you see it going?
Well, this new product is going to change it into... I'm really going to tap into like tea ceremonies as well. So I see it more going in that direction. Just expanding, getting a team, getting a proper warehouse. And then also I had a meeting 2 weeks ago where we're going to hopefully be providing our teas to a range of aged care homes.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that.
I'm very I like doing cool stuff, you know, but then I also want to fill my cup more with just giving more. And
I knew you were an empath the second I met you. I was like, yep, I know you. And you've got this like aura around you, but we'll talk about that later.
Oh,
Okay,
really?
Yeah.
Happy. So my little boy through daycare, he volunteers once a month where they go into an aged care home local to us and they do a little dance and everything. And it makes them so happy, the residents there. So I went in, I was like, I've talked to a few people who work there and like random people who work in aged care homes. And there's a thing called sundowning where if you have Alzheimer's or something similar.
In the afternoon.
Yeah, you can get really agitated. Yeah. And I just thought a sleep tea would be so beneficial for them just to get in that routine. And obviously like the ingredients help with brain receptors and actually calm you down. But just they love a cup of tea. And when I went in there, they all have drinking tea. And I was like, this is perfect. And also when I was in there, I have to be honest, like I found it quite confronting because you think you're going to be young forever, but you might end up in an aged care home and we need to do more.
Yeah, so it's so true. One of my best friends works in one and she was actually talking about the afternoon shift. And she was telling me this story about this old couple that were married for many, many years and they're both in the same aged care home. And the daughter came in and the couple don't remember each other. But as soon as the daughter's there, they don't remember the daughter either. They'll go and sit with her on the couch every afternoon. And it's like they don't remember who she is or who they are together, but they just sit together and they drink tea in the afternoons. Yeah, my girlfriend was just telling me that on a run like last week. You're meant to be doing this. It's so beautiful to help the elderly. It's like helping kids, either end of the spectrum. Like it's how beautiful, how incredible.
Yeah.
I also wanted to ask you, within your business journey, because obviously a lot of business girls listen to this, what's a moment of success for you where you've just gone, yep, this is it for me? Like, I just absolutely love what I'm doing. I know that it could be potentially somebody's reached out to you and said you've changed their life, or is there a moment for you where it was like a pinch me moment?
I'll name a few. That's all right. So it was actually my first expo at the PPC, and I was.
Well, your husband was giving the finger. That one.
I sent him off on the Saturday. I was like, "You need to go."
Yeah, see ya. You're not destroying my beautiful day.
So I went upstairs into like the staff room, and I looked down at the big window which overlooks the whole expo, and I was like, I can't fucking believe I'm here. It's amazing. It's so busy. This is great. So that was a pinch me moment. Another one was seeing my product stocked on a shelf for the first time.
That's cool.
That was great.
That's so cool. Was it in like a warehouse, or was it in a coffee shop?
Whole life. I think that was my first one that I actually went in and I was like, wow, this is great. Various DMs where, I think it was like my first DM where it's just like, I think it was probably about birth, where it was like, I drank your red raspberry leaf tea and I had an empowering birth. That means a lot to me because there is so much negativity around birth and birth trauma still. So I just love that even if it's minimal, I'm helping in some way change the narrative on that. And another one, we as a family, I'm also going to be honest, like there's a lot of financial sacrifices you have to make when you launch a business, and especially like, a product business, there's a lot of money up front that goes out.
Yeah, I'm just sitting nodding, going, yeah. As my bank account goes,
yeah. Well, there's like profit, you sell out, and then you buy new stock, and it all goes.
Yeah.
So I've already come to So we've been living as a family of 4 in Sunshine Coast. We don't live in a city. It's very like, it's not suburbia, but you need to drive, right? So we've had 1 car between us since we moved here. Because we're just like, we can't afford a second car. We just can't. We've got to we need the cash flow for the business and other stuff. And I just got my own car.
Yes! Did you just drive around your street for ages? Going, oh my goodness, I've got my own car.
And being English, and I just feel like, I think women as well, we don't like praise ourselves. We don't talk about the wins, and it's okay. We should definitely.
I actually thought about that the other day. I put something on Instagram like, how do you celebrate your success? And literally every girl I know that has a business, they're like, we don't. Why don't we? We should do it. How can I celebrate? Like it's really funny. I just sit when my girls go to bed at night and I think it was the other week, my business in a week had $14,000 worth of bookings for Thrifter.
Wow.
In 1 week. And for me, like that was just like blew my mind. And I sat there in a quiet house on my own and I was like, yes, like go Thrifter. And that was it. I was like, this is huge. Like that was the profit for years ago when I first started. That was profit for like a few months.
You
It's
should
wild.
do a post about that, honestly.
It's just wild.
I just feel like on Instagram as well, it's like we have so many coaches and that sort of space where they do really talk about the wins. And I love that for them. That's great. And then none of us do. And it's quite polarizing. And I just feel like a lot of us need to come to like that middle ground and actually start talking about the wins more.
I'm worried that in like our generation and the younger generation, they see it as coming from a place of ego, of like, like glory, glory, glory. But it's so not. Like I'm in a place of shock that my business has gone down that path and that I'm actually there. Do you ever get like that? The car moment.
Yeah,
driving
definitely.
the car around. Yeah.
Oh my God, of course.
I want you to go home today, take a selfie with the car and tag me. That's where we're going. I love that. So where can people get your products from? How can they follow you on Instagram?
Yeah.
How can they reach out to you?
So at Nurtur Tea is the Instagram, and we're online. We ship all over the world, and then we're coming out to 100 stores now.
Amazing. So what's your number one product that you would suggest people to buy?
I reckon everyone should get that sleep tea.
The sleep tea. I love that.
But I also love Morning Lift, which you've got on the table right now.
Yes, it's beautiful. And this, like, people on YouTube right now will be able to see it. It is stunning.
Yeah. So it comes in tea bags and loose leaf. Our tea bags are biodegradable and they are plastic free, which is very important.
Oh, it smells delicious. I'm in love. I'm so excited. I'm going to have one today. Can I only have it in the morning?
No, you can have it whenever.
I love that.
It's really good. It's great whenever. And I hope you agree that like herbal tea does not need to taste bad.
Oh, I completely agree. My junior manager, Georgia, she does not drink coffee, and everywhere we go, she gets like a different tea. And I'm like, oh, that smells really good. I love that. Yeah, and she just said it just helps with her skin, the way that she feels. I love that.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, thank you for coming on the podcast today and sharing your journey. I just admire you as a woman and obviously as a business owner as well. And I can't wait to have your tea.
Yeah, and also I'm talking at your next event.
Yes, so September 7th. I'm not sure when this podcast episode comes out, but if it hasn't been September 7th, come and meet Nina. She will be there along with 2 other beautiful, incredible girlfriends of mine and business owners. So I look forward to seeing you there.
Yeah, and hopefully I'm okay and I don't make an idiot out of myself.
Oh, no way. As if. Look at this. This flowed. I love it. Thank you, Nina, and thank you for listeners for tuning in to episode 9. Bye.